Hey, what's up? It's your boy Yaz here. We made a tier list a week ago, I believe, regarding Simulated Universe Swarm Disaster and also a tier list for MOC. I know that's a little bit late for this tier list video since Jane Lu is coming out literally this week, but you know, hopefully this can kind of give you an overall idea of what the heck to get and my god-awful well opinion on this game. Without further ado, do enjoy this little cut down-ish VOD. Alright, so on this tier list, I'm gonna be ranking everything in generic usability, okay? And I'm also obviously gonna be ranking it in overall they're ranking their placements on this tier list. Hold on a minute. Okay, let me rephrase everything. Alright, so I'm ranking everything from Swarm Disaster, Curios, buffs, and everything, okay? And I'll go over the path itself. But yeah. I'll be ranking this in terms of only for Swarm Disaster difficulty 5, okay? Difficulty 4 and generic Storm similar universe I think are very simple and easy to clear. But either way, most of what I put here on the tier list you can probably apply to regular Swarm Disaster and the lower difficulty of Swarm Disaster, okay? So without further ado, let's get started. The first thing we're going to be looking at is Family Ties, Van Diesel's favorite Cheerio. So what does it do? I gotta go look it up. Increases all allies damage by 30% for area Cheerios that's destroyed. In terms of how many Cheerios that we have that are destructible, I think we don't have a lot. I think it's like probably 5 or so. But overall, this Cheerio, in my personal opinion, is okay-ish. First of all, it's something that you have to get along the way, and you can't. It has to be destroying a lot of stuff, right? And let's go over the stuff I can destroy. If I remember correctly, this is destroyable, but I never recommend this. What else is destroyable? Let's see. The dimension reduction dice is destructible. Love this. This is great. I love it. What else is there? So you only have 2 right now. You have 2. You're looking at 2. I think another one breaks here, right? Yeah, this breaks. The glue breaks. That's 3. And then that's it. Or no, there should be like another 2, I think. Not the spider web. Oh, 4, the one that heals you if you die. Let's be honest, never pick this thing up. You don't die, just don't die, forehead. So you have 4 things that are destroyable. You have 4 Cheerios that are destructible. All right, let's double check the math on that. The lotto, did I not count the lotto? Did I skip over the lotto? Oh, so 6 that are destructible, sorry. So 1, this thing doesn't destroy, yeah. 2, 3, I don't think any of these destroys. The waxes don't destroy, so that's 3, 4, and then you have the 2 lottos, yeah, and then nothing else destroys. So you only have a total of 6 items that are destructible. That can only give you a total value of what? 6 times 30? Wow, I can't believe it. 188 damage percent. It's not that bad, but in terms of like the amount of first off, you have to get the respective Cheerios to maximize this value, and 2 of them are the lotto ones. If you want to gamble, hey, be my guest, dude. Because okay, in terms of like good ones that are destructible, I think this one is really good to have. I never recommend picking up the Glory Hood era little metal thingy. It's not that great personally, so it's kind of weird. The fortune glue is always great, you know. I congratulate all the glue eaters in the world. You're winning for once. I never recommend anybody to pick this up. It's so bad in my opinion, because this basically says that, oh, if you die in a fight, that's not a boss fight, you consider it's because it is considered a victory and you heal back to full, but it'll destroy itself. I never recommend picking this up unless you're trying to aim for this. Like at this point, you basically have like realistically 5 Cheerios that are destructible, right? That kind of pushes you back to down a maximum of 150 with a minimum of 0. All right, but I mean, honest to God, if you don't pick up either lottos or a lot of like destructible Cheerios in general, I never recommend picking up Family Tie. So because of that, I think it is pretty fair for me to put it on the C list. I think it's not that great, it's not that good. It's never a pick up when you see it, right? I think a Cheerio is good is when it's unconditionally good, and it doesn't require a lot of other things to work in tandem with it, and that's why I don't recommend it too much. So next up, we have the Talian Flame. I think that's a Bev, and I think that's the Bev I don't have. It is. It is the Bev that I do not have. Okay, well, let's get that out of the way then. I need to put up the Star Wars station because I actually don't have it on my end. Similar universe, we have. Oops. Where is the Bev? Okay, so upon. Oh, it's a little hard for you guys to see this. Okay. Upon entering the battle, the character with the highest HP consumes HP equal to 24% of their max HP at the start of every turn. At the same time, also increasing their speed by 5% up to 5 times. I am gonna be honest, this one is okay. If we go over characters that would like to use this, it's a little bit weird. And also, if you're playing in terms of a more aggro and no healer comp, it's really bad as well, right? So, like, for example, like the issue is I see with this is that if you go so fast that you keep on lapping your healers, you're never gonna heal up, and what's gonna happen is you're gonna die to the lotto, or you're gonna die to the drink itself, right? That's the only issue I see with this. So if you're, for example, running like a Sealy comp and you don't have like Locha or like yeah, just Locha, I don't even have anybody else to recommend. It becomes really awkward because at least with having Locha, you can have your really fast hunt character, right? If you're running the hunt path, you can just have to keep on hitting, and due to the fact that they keep on lapping and lapping, your Locha field is still going to be up when they keep on taking a turn, and 9% of the time they're able to heal more than what this thing will consume. So in that scenario, it becomes really good, but once again, you need to kind of have like Locha there to help you out. Of course, having a character that can heal you over time, for example, what is it? Lynx, right? Lynx has a heal over time, right? On her skill, I believe, right? It's not that bad, but like, you know, it's not gonna beat the 24% max HP consumption that it eats up every turn, right? It's never gonna out heal that, so you're always gonna be in an HP deficit unless once again you're running Locha, who heals you based on attack, right? What else do we have here? If you're running a destruction class, or if you're playing the destruction path, it's okay, I guess, but I still don't recommend it because you still fall into the same issue of, hey, so what the hell are you gonna do? How are you gonna heal back up, right? Falls in the same issue as hunt, but it's even worse than that because you don't have to speed that hunt has, right? Even though you technically do love it due to the fact that destruction like does really well when you're like not at max HP, but you know, once again, you know, what damage are you gonna deal if you're dead, right? Preservation kind of falls in the same issue as destruction, but with preservation you kind of really don't care because preservation is all about that quake, and quake is really good when you get your ass whooped. So what's the point of going so fast that you out, you know, you go so many turns that you end up like, you know, your shield becomes removed due to the fact that you outlive its duration, right? You keep on looping its duration, right? Erudition, no. I'm just straight up saying no. Erudition is not healing more than that. Abundance, I can kind of see it, but it's a little bit weird. So I still don't recommend it. I think at the end of the day, I think this Toxin Flame is really good, but if you don't have Locha, it becomes like really awkward, right? Because it's like it's really hard for you to heal back up, because 25% speed boost is really massive in my personal opinion. So once again, you're going to the C tier. I'm sorry, you're good, but you ain't that guy, okay? I wouldn't pick this up. And even if and here's the other issue, right? This Drake is only available from an event or an occurrence, actually, and you have to get the right occurrence down as well. Overall, I think the pink drink that will be going. You know what? I should go to the pink drink as well. I think the pink drink is just a better option if I remember correctly. But yeah, the pink drink. Upon entering battle, all allies' break effect increases by 20% for every blessing of a different path possessed. So, first off, let's get this out of the way. Nobody is ever gonna say no to break effect. Break effect is great, you know. unless you know you can't break, but at that point just run several forehead. You know, because you know, obviously the nice thing that they did with Storm Disaster is that aside from having Imaginary and Quantum as the only break, weakness break that the boss will have, they give you the ability to select out of the remaining 4, even though it's random. But you know, it still gives you a chance to get, you know, your main DPS's break, because sometimes, you know, not everybody's running Daniel, not everybody's running Sealy, Qingxue, etc, right? You know, some people might be running Blade, Yan Cheng, trying to think of other DPS, but you know, stuff like that, right? Oh, Kafka, right? Electro, there you go, right? But still, overall this is pretty good, because as long as you pick a different path, you get 20%. And what, there's a total of how many, like 7 paths, 8 paths in a game, so you get a increase of what, 160 break effect unconditionally. I mean, it is a little bit unrealistic for you to get 160% break effect, because you know, not every path has a buff that can be used for every other resonance, but here and there's always a decent one, right? For destruction, you have the free res, you have the max HP. For nihility, you have break effect, break efficiency. For preservation, you have the shield upon fight, shield upon hit. For abundance, you have healing increase, and a few other stuff like that. You know what though? Fuck Elation though. Elation is the only one that doesn't have anything good. And then what else? There's always a good one in propagation, so you can always look at that one. Remembers is kind of hard as well, so let's just dock 2 of them out. You have six buffs, or you have 6 paths that always has a overall decent buff for you to pick up, right? So because of that, I kind of want to say the drink itself, right, if I were to put it on the tier list, right, it's still a C tier, because once again, you have to force yourself to go into your occurrence to find it. You have to then get lucky, because apparently it's not a guaranteed chance. It's not, I don't think it's guaranteed when you mix a drink up. But I will tell you this though, it's definitely better than this drink. Is it better than Family Ties? Hell yeah. You know what, let's do this. Put Family Ties all the way in the back. That's what I would recommend. All right, next up we have the triangular. We have the triangle instrument object majiggy. I'm gonna be honest, when I first read this thing was the most confusing shit ever. I did not know what the heck I was looking at. But basically what it is that when choosing the path for the first, second planes, you can additionally choose an enhanced blessing of the corresponding path. So whenever you finish the boss of the first or second plane, you get to choose 2 random paths, and they're always like, you know, for a respective blessing, right? It could be a destruction, it could be hunt, nihility, etc. As far as I remember, I think this thing always has given me a 3-star blessing. So but obviously don't count on me on this one, because you know, I might have been lucky. But yeah, but basically this thing just gives you a free 2 buffs at the end of every run. All in all, it's okay, because here's the other issue, right? When you go in for, let's just say, with the hunt resonance, right? When you finish your first or second plane, you're not always guaranteed to have a hunt blessing path, right? It could be like something else. It could be like a nihility. It could be abundance for whatever weird reason, right? Or whatnot, right? And so because of that, sometimes you're like, well, shit, I don't want any of these. What do? You have to, you basically just pick the worst of the 2, and sometimes that buff that you get might not even matter at all, right? It might have been for something that's super niche or not even good at all. So because of that, I think the triangular drumroller device is okay. It's not that great. It's not that bad, right? It's okay-ish. Due to the fact that when you finish a plate, it becomes a little bit RNG heavy. So because of that, I'm gonna rate it over here, because once again, you know, it depends on the buff and whatnot. Is this Genshin? No, it's not. What's up, Miano? We're doing the tier list for everything in simulated universe. But yeah, honestly, overall though, I would just rate this over here. Anyway, Medal of the Glorious Era. When you pick it up, you immediately get a random 3-star blessing. The next time you enter an occurrence domain, you will not be triggering an occurrence, and it's going to be destroyed. This thing sucks. This thing sucks really bad. The fact that you don't get to pick you don't pick out of the 3, you don't get to pick out of the 3 like you would do with the glue is stupid to me. because I would be playing Hunt or something. I'll pick this up and then I get like a preservation 3-star, and I'd be like, well, this is bullshit. You know, it's so RNG heavy that it's insane. If I were to be able to like pick, you know, any of the 3, I would have been okay. But the fact that you get a random one automatically, you don't get to choose, is insane. And the fact that it says you don't get an occurrence the next time you do it is also really stupid. I want to say like a good 75% of the occurrence is always good. So I always say it's never worth trading a random 3-star blessing that you don't have the ability to reroll or choose out of the 3 is really bad in my opinion. So because of that, I'm putting this shit on the D tier list because I think this is fucking horrendous. This is god awful. It's so bad. All right, next up we have black hole, something black hole. Black hole trap. You get 10 extra cosmic fragments for each ally whose HP is at max after winning the battle. Okay, so let's get this thing out of the way. If you're playing destruction, you're not max. This is worthless to you. Destruction never hits max HP. They don't want to hit max HP, so this is worthless to you. If you're a abundance player, this is fucking free money for you. Everybody else, all up in the air. Preservation, arguably as well. You're okay with preservation because you have a shield, so you don't lose health, right? But either way, this, in my opinion, is not that bad because if you think about it, right? If you are able to consistently have max HP every time, that's $40 every battle. Now here comes the issue. You want to battle or you want to do occurrence, right? Because if you pick this thing up, you're going to be forcing yourself to do battle every time, right? And because of that, you might lose out on the occurrence, which could give you some random shenanigans, right? So because of that, overall, I think this black hole trap is not the best, but it's not the worst. But I will still pick this up if I don't have any better options. But still a good one because, you know, if you do pick it up, you know, going into fights is probably a better option at that point for you, so that you can make the most, so you can get the most value out of this Curio. However, compared to the other ones over here, it's kind of hard for me to say. I want to say unironically, I think it's probably like over here because, you know, having the ability to having the money to upgrade your 3-star buffs or the important ones at the end of the run is so important in my opinion that I think this is worth it. Are they edible? No. What the fuck? No, they're not edible. All right, next up we have typical kiss mark. I don't know what the hell that means. We have typical Geo Society gossip. After obtaining this Curio, cosmic fragments obtained will be increased by 100%, but you will no longer get blessings after combat. Okay, there is a really weird dilemma with this, obviously, right? Double your money, but you don't get any blessings after fighting. But if that's the case, then how are you going to get your money? From occurrence. The only way you're ever going to get your money from the rest of the run until you get rid of this Curio is from occurrence. However, it's not even that a lot, right? But double money is really good though, because once again, right, upgrading 3-star buffs is important, but if you don't have any 3-star buffs to upgrade, then what's the point? There is another point. There is another thing that does make this a little bit better, is that, you know, you can visit the shop and buy it from Scrulium, because Scrulium has some buffs for you to buy, right? And Hartha has the Curios for you to buy. Overall, this is okay. I don't really like this. I usually avoid this as well because I don't know why God decides to give me this every time when I'm in the beginning of the game, and I'm like, this is worthless to me because in the first and arguably up to the first half of the second plane, you're out there farming for buffs and Curios. Second half to the end is when you're gonna be like, all right, give me that money, I gotta buff everything up, right? So that's probably what I will see this as. This is really bad early game, but it becomes really good late game. But either way, this is like most of the time I feel like this thing never drops late game. Because of that, I'm probably gonna actually put it maybe a little bit behind the drink. It's okay, but it's not that great, you know. It's all right. It's all right. A lot, a lot of C tier list though. Holy shit. Am I a harsh grader or what? All right, next up we have the tonic, right? Tonic increases damage dealt by characters taking back by 200%. Technique damage further increases by 200% of the technique's respective character's max HP. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you this. When I saw this shit, I saw this and I was like, wow, what a good blade Curio. this is like, I don't know why does it say HP. I don't know why it's based on max HP. I don't know why they did this. I don't know why they chose max HP. I guess maybe attack would have been too insane, but if you do max HP, every abundance player will abuse the shit out of this, or any characters that we get in the future that are HP scaling are gonna abuse this, as long as their technique are attacking ones, right? Which is blade primarily. I mean, they do give you like a raw 200 damage increase bonus, but still, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is like, this is one of those where I think it's unconditionally good, but the issue is that it's buffing a really weird and god-awful aspect of the game where I'm just like, sure, I'll take it if it's for free, but if I pick it, I'll never pick it up unless, once again, the other two options are so bad, right? Because the technique damage, 200% of technique damage is so minuscule. You're improving, like, you basically just told yourself, yeah, I'm gonna hit you for 2% to 4%. Wow, amazing, amazing, amazing. It's okay, it's okay. That's what I see this as. It's okay. But I'll probably, once again, I'll put it more towards the top of the list because it's one of those, it fills the category of unconditionally good, right? Next up, we have one of the gears. Well, you know, yep, coggers, boys. Rupert something something. It is Rupert Emperor Mechanical Cogwheel. You get 50 cosmic fragments every time you enter a domain. However, if your cosmic fragment exceeds a total of 500, then the Cheerio will be destroyed and all cosmic fragments will be lost. Oh, okay. So first off, that puts family ties to a total of 7 destructible Cheerios, because this thing is also destroyable, but you have to intentionally destroy it yourself, and that is the stupidest shit ever. Because you know, why would you do this to lose all of your money? It doesn't make sense to me. Okay, 500 cosmic fragments is a lot, my dude. It's a lot. But either way, overall, I hate this. I think this is one of the shittier ones, due to the fact that you get $50 per domain, which is really good, right? But it is very, very luck based, because if you can't reach a shop in time, then this Cheerio is useless, right? It's gonna blow up, you're gonna lose all your money, and you're gonna be sad and mad, right? So this Cheerio becomes now that becomes very map dependent, depending on like you know, can you make it with the amount of steps, right? Because also remember, if you're going to a fight, if you're going to a combat domain where you have to fight the mobs, you also get money from them as well. So basically every round you're not getting 50, you're getting 50 and some more, which will further push you even up and up and up. So overall, like, I would just say never pick this thing up unless you are in a run where you somehow have like a shop every 3 steps. Then pick it up, because then you always have money to spend, you know. So because of that, I'm putting this bitch in D tier. Super situational and not a generic pickup. All right, next up we have Cavity Tooth. I hope I guessed it right. Fuck. All right, Cavity System Motto. All right, so what this is that you lose all of your money, but for every $100 you lost cosmic fragments, your characters get 24% crit damage. Okay, so okay, this in my opinion is kind of nasty. It's kind of fucking nasty. It's assuming, and on an average run, I think you'll probably end up assuming nothing goes wrong, you don't lose any money or anything like that, right? You'll probably end up with like maybe like 300 at low and maybe like 500 at higher end, right? Yeah, you basically would double. You basically just got like 100 crit damage if you're at 500s. If you're not at 500s, you got like what, 70-ish. It's not that bad, but by getting this early or late, you either don't get a lot of value from it, because if you get this early game, you're not gonna have a lot. You're not gonna have like 200, 300 cosmic fragments to throw away. So you probably only get like at best like 24 crit damage, right? If you get a late game, you're basically saying, yeah, I don't need to upgrade my buffs, is just give me the raw damage, right? Which in that case, it can't work, right? But once again, it's kind of like it's kind of situational. Once again, depends on what you have and don't have, right? Like if you're like, okay, I have a lot of buffs, maybe I don't need to upgrade anything, maybe the buffs are okay with what they are, which I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think they are personally. It's always nice to upgrade something, so because of that, I disagree with that, but whatever. You can probably get away with not upgrading any buffs at all, and just, you know, doing stacking it up for the motto. Is that my tooth? No. So because of that, overall, I want to say like this thing will probably be like at the lower end of the C tier. I want to say like really low though. It's like probably a little bit low, but like it's not like, you know, insanely low. I'll probably put it like above the gossip letter, because if you pick this thing up, it's like not that bad. It's not the end of the world. You can still play the game. All right, next up would be the disc. Okay, first off, this disc, in my opinion, is if you're playing Propagation Path, this is a must-have, because if you don't pick this thing up, it's going to be really annoying. Because because this thing basically buffs all the damage that your characters deal whenever you're in a swarm combat domain, a swarm currents domain, and also the final boss at the last phase, right, or plane. Even if you're not gonna like even if you're not running Propagation, this path is actually, or this Curios is actually not that bad for you to pick up, due to the fact that, hey, 8% damage increase is not that bad, right, for the end of the game, against the boss and everything. That's really it. There's no downgrades at all, so I would just say this is like really good. But like, once again, this is like really good, but there's better ones that we're gonna see down the line. But I still think this is pretty good. And if you don't have a lot of good options, I would say pick this one up. So guess what? Our first B tier. Yeah, our first B tier. All right, next up we have the fucking mask. That reminds me of fucking Aha, and I want to punch that fucker. We have the full mask. So what this fucking thing does is that it basically swaps all of your blessings with a different blessing. So all your elation ones, if you were doing like a full elation path, all your elation buffs will be anything. It will be everything but elation. While retaining their enhancement levels if they're enhanced, and you have a chance to upgrade them to a higher rarity. I'm gonna tell you, the only time that this thing was useful was when I was playing Elation and I wanted Remembrance buff. So if you are looking to play a specific resonance, but you are not abusing the main resonance's gimmick, so if you're playing Nihility and not using DLT characters, or if you're using Elation but not playing a lot of follow-up characters, this is the only time this item is good. Everywhere else, you do not want to use this thing, okay? You do not want to use this thing. It is very bad, because if you're playing a full destruction path, you just have no destruction buffs anymore, and you're gonna get your ass whooped. So because of that, unironically, I used to give in my mind, or back then, I would give this thing a lot of shit. But as far as I'm aware of, I don't think this thing ever was force dropped onto me. So I think it's always like you have to pick it up yourself, right? So because of that, unironically, I think it's actually at the top of the C list. The reason why is because if you are using it in its respective scenario, it is insane, which you will do. Trust me, you will do, because when we get to the path resonance, you will understand why that this is a game changer. If you're playing a resonance path and for whatever weird reason, and you're not trying to use their buffs because your team can't abuse it, right? Can I drink that pink trick? No, but yeah, I actually think it's on the high end of C tier list by itself, because once again, you have to willingly pick this, and if you are willingly picking this, you know what you're doing, and you should know what you're doing. If you don't, please, for the love of God, don't pick that, okay? Next up, we have Vio something. It's the cogwheel, okay? It is Vio Mechanical Satellite number 900, and its effect is all item prices in transaction domains become 70% of what they are. So basically, you get a 70% discount in everything. This does not, first off, let's get this out of the way. This does not affect the final checkpoint before the boss, where you're able to have Hartha buff whatever buff you select. This only applies to the shop that Squirrelium and Hartha are in, and they're selling for Hartha 3 random Curios, and Squirrelium will be like, I think like 6 or 7 buffs of like 1 level 3, 2 level 2 or 2 or 3 level 2s, and then like the rest are all level 1s. Okay, this item, in my opinion, is okay. It's not the greatest, but it's okay, right? Because once again, sometimes Squirrelium sells you garbage, and you can't do that, and there's nothing you can do about it, right? He sells you garbage, it's whatever, right? Hartha, on the other hand, can sell you some good Curios, right? Because she can basically sell you like 9% of whichever you see here, except for the clocks, but they're great, right? Here's another really funny interaction I had. There has been a point where Hartha will sell the mechanical satellite in her shop, and in that scenario, I just say pick it up in her shop and pick up whatever other chair she has, right? Because she so happened at that point, I think in her shop she had like one other really decent Cheerio, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll pick up this and I'll pick up another Cheerio next to her, and then I ended up picking up some buffs to screw them as well. So it can be nice, right? Especially if you're, you know, running the gossip, because if you're on the gossip, you're not getting a buff after a battle, right? So the only way you're ever going to get a buff is from occurrence or the shop, which once again, this thing will become very handy in. But overall though, if you don't see yourself going to the shop a lot, I will say avoid this, but still a decent one, right? Not a bad one, not a good one. I will probably put it on the top of a C, on the C tier list right now. All right, next up we have Spirit of the Something. Spirit of the Night's Beauty. You get 4 dice rerolls after changing this Cheerio. Okay, I know we're all gacha players here, okay? We all play gacha, right? And this thing is just gamble on gamble, dude. I have seen myself roll dice 4 times, and I got the same resonance buff the entire time, and I'm like, this is bullshit. Honest to God, it really depends what's gacha. I don't know. That's crazy. Yeah. Am I assuming? Yeah, I'm assuming. That's right, I'm assuming. Honest to God, I have seen myself reroll the resonance buff 4 times, and I got the same thing 4 times. This is so bad. It's bad, but like it can't be good sometimes. It depends on your path resonance, and it depends on how lucky you are that day. It really depends on those two. There's not much to say about it, right? You know, if your Cheerio if your path has a good buff, then this could be good. If it has bad ones, then this could be bad, right? I think it's just fine. I think it's fine. I wouldn't pick this up all the time though, but you know, it's probably once again, I would honestly put it like right here. You know, I want to pick any of the other ones before it. I think it's just gamble center at the end. All right, next up we have the Spooky Ghost. Illusionary Automaton. Oh fuck. Illusionary Automaton. Okay, all right. English. At the start of the character's turn, they heal 20% of their own max HP. Okay, so this Cheerio on its own is actually not that bad. Healing 20% can be very decent, but let me ask you this question. What's the point of healing if you're gonna die? You know, why heal when you get one-shotted, right? What's the point of healing when you get one-shotted? So that's my only issue with this, is that if you're not running preservation, destruction, abundance, or any of the other path, and not have a good way of surviving hits, this won't do anything for you, because you're just gonna die anyways, right? Because here's the thing, right? If the boss hits you for 60% of your max HP, no, okay, that's not 660. Let's say 70, right? If it hits you for a lot and you heal it back up, but you heal like barely anything, they're still gonna one-shot you on the second hit anyways, right? So what's the point of healing 20% of your max HP, right? If they have you and this thing heals you to like 60%, they're still gonna kill you the next turn, because they kill it for they hit you so hard that it doesn't matter, right? But I mean, overall, this is still not like entirely bad. It's like okay, it's okay. Now healing 20%, and it's also max HP scaling, so Once again, which this is the reason why I think this is good for preservation, abundance, and destruction players. I would put this mother sucker on the I'll probably put it over here, honestly. Probably put it over here. No, hold on, put it over here. Well, fuck the gossip. Because the crit damage is better, the buff could be better, the healing 20 per turn is kind of mid, honestly. All right, next up we have a pinch of something. Okay, if I remember correctly, this is stupid. Yeah, a pinch of bearded gunpowder. Okay, I think this thing is kind of good, actually. I think I always say pick this one up because you don't get a lot of cheats quite often. And if you really want to maximize your runs, cheats are kind of nice to have, right? Because, you know, oh, you want the specific one, oh, you want that specific one, and you know, look at this fucker, right? Sometimes you have 4 rolls and it still won't give you the one that you want, where you just cheat it out and force it, right? It's good. I think it's good. It's good on preservation, it's good on abundance, it's good on like pretty much everything. I don't think any residents would hate this. Oh, actually, fuck you, Elation. But yeah, because of that, I think it's really important for you to have one, and it's good to have one, right? You want to maximize your path's buff, your stat buff that your path gives you. So personally, short and simple, B tier, instant B tier. All right, next up we go to one of my favorites, man-made meteorite. You get a 1 to 3 star random blessing for the current path after obtaining this Cherio. If you're fucking lucky, you get 3. If you're not lucky, you get 1. At the end of the day, this, in my personal opinion, this item, this Cherio, in a way, I see it as a net positive. Even if you get 1 buff, it is still arguably a net positive. The moment you get 2 buff, it is a, oh sorry, not a, okay, sorry. If you get 1 buff, it is a net neutral. If you get 2 buffs, it's a net positive. So I think this is actually really good. I always pick this up the moment I see it. I don't give a fuck because I know at the end of the day, if I get this, it's whatever. I'm not gonna cry about it. I got my buff, you know, and sometimes I get 3 or a 1 and it gives me just enough for me to hit the extra effects of the path resonance, right? Because you know how if you pick once you pick 3, you get the Aeon's help, and then you pick another 3, you get like an additional buff, right? This will help you hit that buff even faster. So I always recommend people to pick this thing up. So in my opinion, guess what? We got our first S tier. I'm gonna put this on an S tier. I think this is probably like the best thing to pick up. The next one is actually also really good as well, in my personal opinion. You have the dimensional reduction dice. The next time you choose a battle, you get an extra blessing. However, you only get to pick 2 blessings out of the 2 blessings, but you gotta pick an additional 1, and then it'll be destroyed after triggering 2 times. I don't think it matters. You basically have a 50-50 that becomes like 2 50-50s, I guess, because you could just reroll it if you don't have anything you want. An additional buff is always great to have. And once again, there are, at the end of the day, a lot of buffs that are universally good for almost every playstyle. So I always say pick this one up, because it's you always get something good, you know? Most of the time you always be able to get something good. And you can pair this, spoiler alert, you can pair this with the glue to get yourself 3-star buffs every for the whole duration use of this. Because they are because the glue counts. I'll explain more when we get to it, but yeah. I want to say if the dice doesn't have that ability, I will rate it a lot lower, but overall it's still pretty good. Yes, you are playing into RNG, but 9% of the time it's still pretty fucking good in my opinion. So I actually am thinking that I might actually just put this on the A tier. It's not insane, but it's not that bad, right? Because at the end of the day, you're still playing RNG. That can fuck you over if you get like a buff that you don't need or want. So yeah. Next up, we have the Etropotic, what, I'm not gonna bother saying that name. Etropotic die. So it will randomly enhance 2 of your blessings after obtaining it. So this thing is basically the same thing as you going to a checkpoint, talking to Hartha, give her like what, 180 bucks for her to randomly upgrade your 2 buffs. 9% of the time this is actually really good, right? Because once again, if you're picking buffs that you like and are good for your team, a free upgrade is a free upgrade. Fuck it, dude. Just take the free upgrade, right? I always say pick this one up if you can get it, because most of the time it's still gonna be good regardless of what happens. Unless it buffs the ones that you had to pick up because there were no better ones, and at that point I'm sorry for your loss, but hey, that's how the game goes, you know. It's a game. You know, that's the RNG factor at the end of the day. But overall, 2 random buffs that you may or may not have to spend a lot of buffs on or money on is really good in my opinion. So I would honestly put this bitch up on the I would actually put this on the S tier actually. Trap the net, nice. All right, next up we have the Shining Trapezon the Hordon die. So this one basically replaces every chair you have. Honest to God, I think the Cherio is an avoid 24/7 unless the ones that you have right now are so shit or they're destroyed that you have no better options to use. Like for example, if you have the robot that's destroyed, if you went for the mask, if you went for the tooth, if you went for this tooth, I think you can get rid of this and you still get the buff. The medals, like whatever that one-time use and eventually obviously the clocks, right? If you ever get the clocks, you want to throw it away. Instead of, because it's always better to throw it away for something else that's, you know, at least something somewhat useful than a permanent debuff, right? So because of that, I think this is okay. This kind of falls into like the equilibrium tier where it's like the balance. So because of that, I'm actually gonna put it on like probably the B tier list. It's like right in the middle, smack in the middle, right? It does the job, it does what it needs to do, right? All right, next up we have the I never knew what the hell it's called. I could just call it the typhoon shit, but it's called Chaos Termites. Tramites? Whatever the fuck it's called, I don't care. They're tornadoes, yes, tornadoes. Whenever you win a battle, you get a free refresh. This is, in my opinion, really good. But once again, you have to force yourself to go into battles a lot of the times for you to really milk the usage out of this Cheerio. But it's still good, right? Because at the end of the day, you're gonna have to fight a boss no matter what. So it's always nice to have. And you know, you love it when you get like the remembrance buff and you're not playing any freeze characters at all. So well, I'm gonna say, I think honest to God, this is a pretty good Cheerio to get. I would probably put this on like the high end of, I would probably like put it here or here. I want to say like probably this, because once again, it depends on what you reroll. What you reroll, if it's really good, it's good, right? If it's not, then it's what it is. But it's still decent because it's the fact that you have another chance that's insane. That's what makes it good. Either way, going on, you have the casket. Oh, it skipped a few. Did it skip a few? Oh, we'll go back to it later. The Casket of Inaccuracy. You get 2 random blessings out there taking your Cheerio. Okay, so hey, you guys remember this piece of shit? Yeah, it's the original one, but worse. Never pick this thing up. I hate picking this thing up. I have never been happy once picking this thing up. It's always giving me some garbage bullshit that I never wanted. So guess what? To the garbage tier list, because they're all random. You don't get to pick. You only get 1 or 2 buffs random. You don't get to pick out of the 3. Never recommend it. Okay, never recommend it. To the bottom. It's still okay, but it can be still decent though, because sometimes you get something decent, but no. All right, next up we have that fruit thingy, Fruit of the Alien Tree. After winning a battle, revives all down characters in the current team and restores their HP to the max. The share will be destroyed once it's been triggered once. I'm just gonna say this. The fuck are you dying for, dude? If you die, you die. If you die, let's be honest. If you die, pay up, res, B. Let's be honest. Just take out one of your pre-downloaded characters and slot them in, right? You don't need it. I think this is useless. I think this is worthless. This is complete, utter garbage. Unless your DPS dies, then at that point, why'd you fuck up? It's still, at the end of the day, this is more or less of the fact that I am either way under geared and I don't know why I'm here, or I fucked up, and at that point it's your mistake and you should be ashamed of it. And at that point, take the L, just reset the run, dude. You don't deserve to win that run if you made a mistake like that, okay? So I'm gonna put this on the bottom because, you know, just don't die, play better, etc., etc. This thing will never come up. If you don't have this, you're never going to be like, wow, I wish I had this. If you have this, you're not going to be like, wow, this is amazing. I never felt like that ever. Because whenever it happens, I'll be like, oh cool, let me just download another character and I'll just be on my way. All right, next up we have the warping night vision goggles. Warping compound eye. After choosing a blessing after winning a battle, enhance all 1-star blessings that appear. So honest to God, 1-star blessings are not something to look down upon. They're always great to have, and you should always be like, yes. And they are, and you know, they stack up at the end of the day. So because I think it's really good, it is unfortunate it's only for 1 stars and not for 2 and 3 stars. So that's the only issue that I would see with it. But it's what it is, you know what I'm saying? Can't do much about it. But hey, 9% of the time, you're always gonna pick up. You're always gonna pick up your respective paths 1-star blessing anyway. So it's a free. It saves you money as well once you reach the end of the run and you have to upgrade your stuff, right? So it's always nice to have. I will only say that this is only bad to pick up when you know that you probably pick up a bunch of 1-star buffs of your respective path already, and that you're really not gonna get a lot of value out of this, right? If I pick up like 5 already, I know I'm not gonna get a lot anyways. I'm probably only gonna get 2 stars or 3 stars or even 1 stars of other paths that are not as useful but still decently useful. But you know, at that point you don't get much a lot of value out of it already. So I would put this probably on like high C tier, or actually I'll probably put it on low B tier. I think that's actually pretty good. Yeah. Oh, it goes to the code. Okay, we're gonna do the code and the wax later. We'll do it later. We'll go with the scissors first. Obliteration wick trimmer. Upon entering battle, increase all allies damage by 3% for every destructible object that has been destroyed. Yeah, this thing's kind of strong. There's 2 things I hate about it. One, it never tells you how many things you destroy total, so you never know the percentage unless you dead ass keep track of what the fuck you did. Because as far as I'm concerned, I think you get 1 destructible object at every domain, so it's always 1 1 1 1 1, right? Minimum. And if you get this with the pouch, it's insane, right? It's an insane combo. But I don't think this thing keeps tracks of destroyed previously or not, which is kind of unfortunate. I don't know why it doesn't keep track of that, or I don't know why it doesn't specify. Let me look it up. But I don't know. Because if it doesn't keep track of what you have destroyed before you picked it up, then it's really bad, or it's not as good. But if you did, it becomes really good. You know what I'm saying? Give me one moment. Yeah, it doesn't specify if it counts it or not. And this is the reason why I don't like it, is because of the fact that like it doesn't tell you until you're in a battle, and I don't check it a lot, and I don't pick this one a lot, so it's kind of hard for me to say. But overall though, it's kind of nice. It's kind of like an unconditional damage buff that you get forever, so it's okay. Oops, yeah, that's me on Reddit looking it up. Overall, I would just probably say that like I'll probably put this like probably put this on the B tier as well. It's pretty good. It's really good. As long as you run it especially if you run it in tandem with the pouch, right? It's really insane. All right, next up we have the what is it? The disc. Oh, record from beyond the sky. Upon entering the battle, all allies will nullify all damage received except for DOT until after their attack, and cannot be debuffed for 3 turns. You get a free hit, I think, right? Yeah, you get a free hit and then you can't get debuffed. Just run a cleanser, just run a healer, just run a tank. Why the fuck do we need this, right? So because of that, I am like kind of whatever about it. I think it's not that great, it's not that bad. It's like just run a healer, dude. What the hell, man? I honest to God, I would just probably put this like at like the C tier. I'll probably put it like right here, probably. Hold on. There you go. Probably put it here. It's like whatever, dude. It's like whatever. I don't like it too much. But yeah. All right. Next up, we had the Void Wick Trimmer. Upon obtaining this Cheerio, randomly repairs up to 2 destroyed Cheerios and restores their remaining use to default. So we went over the list and there was what 7 destructible Cheerios, with most of them being okay, which is This is dog shit, but you get another random 3-star blessing if you really want. You want to gamble losing $500 again? Be my guest. And then but this is good. That's one good. Too bad, one good. You see where I'm going with this? Yeah, there's not a lot of good stuff that you want to repair. This is garbage. So like you have like basically like 3 really bad ones, and then you have like 2 decent ones, right? But once again, there's a lotto at the end of the day. If you want to gamble on lotto, fuck, dude, be my guest, dude. I got nothing to tell you at this point. You know, oh, the glue is insane though, but you only have like this and this, and that's all you have. So it's like you have to get like the glue or the dice or both of the lottos for this to be like really useful, for the trimmers to be good. So it kind of falls in the same category of like, hey, if it's used in this niche, it's good. If it's not, it's kind of bad. So I'll probably like put it like, I want to say like here as well. It's okay. All right, next up we have gold coins and silver coins. Personally, I think they're both pretty good. What are we doing first? We're doing gold coins first. All right. Gold coin. Upon entering a new domain, you get 6% cosmic fragments to whatever you have currently. So you get a 6% passive income every time you pass through a domain. I think this is pretty good. It's really nice to have. And it kind of rewards you for like basically just saying that, yeah, I'm never going to spend any money for the rest of the run until I reach the last and basically collect my investment, right? So because of that, I think it's really good to have. It's unconditional, you know, and it's fine. However, you do lose values if you do upgrade midway. You know, if you're like, oh, I don't think I can do the next boss, I don't know if I can do this or that, I might need to do some upgrades now, right? That's when it kind of loses value, but still overall really good to have. So I'm gonna put this on the top of the I'll put it in A. I'll probably put it like, yeah, I'll probably put it at A. Actually, money is always good. Money is always good. Upgrades are always nice to have. All right, next up we have the silver coin. Silver coin of Discord, gold coin of Discord. Yeah. Silver coin, you just get 50% of whatever you own immediately. So this is incredibly garbage early game because you don't have a lot to gain in the first place. However, though, if you're late game and you got like 500, it's nice to have. It is very nice. So it kind of falls in once again to the same issue as the one that we were looking at, which was where was it again? The compound allies, but reverse, right? This is good for the early game, but bad for the end game. This is like, whereas the coin is bad for the early game, but good for the late game, right? So I probably put this at like I'll probably put this at the top of the C tier. Actually, I'll probably put it in B actually, because even if you do get this thing early, an extra like 50 coins is not the worst to get. You know, coins is coins. The money's money. All right, next up we have Fate Bond and Society Ticket. All right, Fate Bond. Where'd it go? Reduces cosmic fragments required for blessing enhancement, blessing reset, and for resetting down characters by 30%. Okay, well, first off, this thing is insane. I always say that this is always good to have. You always want to discount your final purchases for whatever, so you can squeeze out whatever you can do. So I would always say it's nice to pick up, you know, and you know, if you really want to get the buffs that you want and that are correct ones, you always want to refresh. So this is also super helpful. But I pray for the coins. What do you mean? So I say Fate Bond is always great to have. Society Ticket, on the other hand, is a little bit more weird. It gives you a 75% cosmic fragments increase upon a battle. So for me personally, I'm a very occurrence player. I don't do a lot of battle, so for me personally, I never see a lot of value in this. But you know, it's still very good to have, right? Especially with the fact that if you stack this shit up with this, it's like 175 extra coins. It's fucking stupid. But you know, this one is 25% less, but has no downside. But still always great to have. Overall, I would probably rate the Society Bond a lot higher. I'll probably put it I'll probably put it in the S tier, and I'll put the Society Ticket like probably at A tier, because you're always going to be battling anyway, right? But all right, next up we have the robes. Both of the robes are really good in a way. I don't recollect one of them though, but it's whatever. Let's get started with Robe of the Beauty. Upon entering battle, increases damage dealt by all allies by 60% of every cosmic fragment you own. So I actually don't like this icon a lot, and I actually hate it because I think it's the damage increase that you get from this will never beat you using all of your money to upgrade, right? It's never gonna beat you using your money to upgrade. So I always avoid this if I can, and I have been correct. And so I don't know, I don't like it a lot, but this is like pretty decent for early game where you're holding up your money so you can, like, you know, use them wisely or use them at specific shops and whatnot. Mainly I think this is like okay for early game, but late game I feel like just upgrade everything, stop using this shit. So yeah. However, the doctor's robe is probably one of the dumbest shit ever, because you get a 40% or you get when you go into a battle, you basically instantly get your resonance immediately, and it also increases the damage of your resonance by 40%. Doing resonance the moment you walk in is always great, and the damage increase is always nice to have, right? Because for the agility it's great, for quake it's great, for preservation it's great, for abundance it's great. You can start heal, you can start having your the resonance be in your turn order immediately, you know. No Aeon or no path residents will hate using this, so I think that these two are both really I think the doctor robe is insane. The robe of the beauty though, on the other hand, is okay. So I will probably put this like right here, and then I'll put the robe like probably like top of C, I want to say. Yeah. All right, next up we have cheese. You guys want some cheese? Ambergris cheese. Upon winning a battle, you heal 30% of your max HP. Wow, I can heal. Just run a fucking healer, dude. I'm not even gonna go over it too much. Just run a healer, dude. Stop being stupid, run a healer. And if you're not running a healer, I don't know what the fuck you're expecting, because this 30% of your max HP is not gonna heal it full. You're gonna get one shot in the next time you go again anyways, if you're already omega low when you ended up the fight. So garbage. You have the scroll and the glue, or beacon glue. We'll do two at a time. All right, the scroll. It's good. Upon entering a battle, all enemies receive a set amount of damage equal to 30% of their own max HP. So for overall farming and like I want to say mini bosses, it's pretty good. But for bosses who have like phases, it kind of still has value there, but it's not really great because 30% is like whatever. And let's be honest, I don't think any player is playing the game with a set timer where it's like, oh, I need to kill the boss within like 5 turns, or else like my buffs run out and I have no life and I have no sustain left, so he just one-shots me. No, that doesn't happen. Okay, the 30% is probably going to take you an extra turn or two, which in that time you shouldn't be dying, right? If you die, once again, you're either way too undergeared or you fucked up on something. So I think this is like okay, but like once again, you like if there's better options, never pick this thing up. But you know, it's nice to have, right? Once again, no downsides, makes farming easier, and killing the Trotters a lot easier because fuck the Trotters, right? And then the other one was the beacon glue, right? Right here, the beacon coloring paste. When choosing a blessing after winning a battle, randomly enhance one blessing among the selection. Hey, so did you know that the warping compound iron has a fucking brother who's better than him? Because that's what the fuck this is. 9% of the time this is going to be way better, because remember, the combat eyes is always for one buff, whereas this is one random buff only. But still, you have a 33% chance of this fucking hitting something that you want minimum. If it's 2 buffs that you want that you want, you have now you have a 66% chance of it hitting it and giving you a free upgrade. And 3-star upgrades are very expensive. So yeah. All right, so overall I would probably rate the scroll. I'm gonna giant them up because I need to scroll up every time. I probably rate the glue like A tier. I rate the glue A tier. And then for the scroll, I probably put it at the high end of C tier as well. It's okay, but like I wouldn't like, you know, go fucking hard for it, you know. But yeah. All right, next up we have, I'm not gonna go over the clocks until last minute as well, so let's go over the other stuff. The Punk Lord game cartridge and the pouch. Okay, so the Punk Lord mentality. Upon entering a battle, there's a 100% fixed chance to add all enemies one type weakness of the same type as allies currently on the field. These weaknesses last for 3 turns. Okay, the only issue I have with this is that the fact that two things. One, it's only for 3 turns. 2, if you break their face, they lose his debuff immediately. That's the only issue I have with this, right? If you're bossing, right, like a phase boss, this is useless. It helps you break the first phase better, but like after that, you're just like, okay, you know, it's like, what the fuck are you gonna do, right? So because I don't really like it, I always hate picking this thing up, but whatever. Free weakness break early in the fight is always nice to have. So, and whatever. We have the Omni Sentient Capsule. Destructible objects will appear more frequent and rewards obtained from them are doubled. This is really good. My only gripe with this is that I hate it when it drops me the healing orbs or the technique point orbs, because I think those are useless. Because I don't ever use my techniques unless I'm bossing, because I know I can get more back later on. However, though, maybe with Topaz will change, because remember, Topaz will give you more Curios if you use her technique more in battles. So, but yeah, this is overall really good. And remember, if you have this and the Obliteration Trimmer, it's insane in my opinion. All right, so I'll probably put this like at like A tier, I want to say, because they also give you more drops from destroying it, and that's more money, right? For the cartridge, I'll probably put it like probably right here, I want to say. All right, now that leaves us with the 2 lottos. Not much for me to say about the lottos. You get a Cheerio, but you can lose all of your health. I mean, this is actually still great, due to the fact that, like, if you lose all of your health, just heal it back up, right? So it's not that bad. This, on the other hand, I kind of hate this one actually, because you have a random chance of getting a blessing instead, and if you fail, you lose all of your technique points and your energy. I hate this. The fact that it's a random blessing, and once again, not a blessing that you could choose from, is really bad, because I have used this before and I'll get like some random fucking blessing that I'm like, I am not even using. So I think this is probably worse than the fucking Cosmic Lotto, because once again, with the Cosmic Lotto, you can heal it back up. With this, it's annoying because now you have to get your technique back up and everything, and it's like so fucking dumb. So for the, hold up, which one is, okay, so this is the Inter-Astral Big Lotto is the shittier one. I would probably just rate this like top of the C. I'll probably put it as a B, as an equilibrium thing, and then this one I'll put it at the top of like, probably put it here. I don't like it a lot, but yeah. All right, that leads us to the Angel type. I think the Angel type is a special one, huh? And cheese. Let me see. Oh, never mind. Okay, so the Angel type IOU dispenser. No, wait, this is an occurrence one. This is an occurrence one. I'm not reading this shit. Okay, we're with the cheese. You get a free Eidolon increase. That's all there is to it. If you're not a whale, this is insane. If you're a whale, this is useless for you. That's it. Putting on an A tier. Free Eidolons are great. You know, it's always great to have, right? But obviously, it depends on your Eidolons and what and how max are your units, right? If you have an E5, it's insane. If you have an E6, shit. But if you're like, if you have a 5-star with like no Eidolons, E1 could be very good, depending on who the character is, right? It's kind of character dependent, in my opinion. All right, last 2, we have the Laurel and the Fortune Glue. And then we have the Shatter Charm. I'm going to go over all 3 of them at once. All right, so this thing, the Laurel Crown of Planar Shifts. The current expiration will not terminate if your team is defeated in a battle outside of the final domain. Instead, the battle will be considered a victory, and all characters will heal 100% to their max HP, and it will destroy itself. If you lose to a boss, if you lose to a mob that's not in your boss, reset the fucking run. You were gonna win that run in the first place. Let's be honest, okay? So, garbage item. I never recommend this shit. And then we get to one of my favorite items, the glue. When choosing your blessings after winning a battle, all blessings that appear are guaranteed to be 3-star rarity and will destroy itself after being triggered. Always great, always hard to miss. Most 3-star blessings are very good generically, and you're always going to pick up something that you can kind of use here and there. So I think this is amazing. And once again, remember how I told you guys about the dimension reduction dice? If you pair both of these together, you get to pick 2 3-star blessings. However, you only get to pick out of 2 options, because this will drop your choices to 2 instead of 3. But still, That's great to have. I'll still take that any time of the day. So I think that's insane. Next up, you have the Shatter Start Bait. You get a movement speed increase of 20% when you're in a map overworld, but in combat, you get a 10% action forward after you get an action. This is really good. 10% is not a lot, but it's still good to have. It's one of those where it's unconditionally good. And hey, more movement speed. Guess what? You gotta get the fuck out faster. So I think this is actually really good. I like it a lot. So let's go over and ranking the final items we have. This is straight up garbage. The fortune glue is for sure an S tier. The charm I kind of want to put it as an A tier. So with that, I think that's pretty much it. We have the codes, but I want to do the codes separately because they're kind of a little bit you know, you don't really get to choose them, you know what I'm saying? And the wax, I'm just gonna go over them really fast. I'm only gonna read one of them because they all do the same thing for their respective paths, but whatever. The wax, you get to choose you get a random bluff. You get a random buff of your blessing or your path. And then when you win a battle, you have a higher chance of getting the respective path. If you get the one that you have, it's great. If you get the one that you don't have, it sucks. There you go. It's that simple. But overall, though, I'll probably rank it up as like an A tier. It's still an A tier in my opinion. All right, so let's do some reconfiguration, and then we're gonna finalize it here and there. In terms of this, I'll probably do it like this. I think this is like the worst to get. Something like this is always like always. I put the bond a little bit lower because, you know, it also depends how much money you get, right? Wow, my voice is dying. All right, beacon top. I think it's always top. Never pick it out of anything else. The dimension dice is also really good though, to the point where I wouldn't really throw it away. Oh, by the way, and then this wax here, consider this one as whatever path you're running. If it's a path that you're not running, let's just use propagation instead. If it's a path that you're not running, it's automatically D tier. If it's an interplay path, it's like D tier or C tier. That's what I would rank it. But yeah. I'll probably do something like this, and then for B tier, it will probably be like, okay, I'm gonna put the reroll dice all the way at the end because it's very situational and it's like omega rando, right? And I'll probably do like this, probably this, yeah, probably something like this, and then down here, I'm gonna be honest, I think I'm leaving it here. It's probably okay. Yeah, and then for the D tier items, they're all just garbage. I don't really want to rank them because they're all just so bad. They're all like equally bad. All right, well, there you go. There is the overall Cheerio tier list from my dumb ass. Hopefully I give you a better understanding of what every Cheerio does. Now we're gonna go over to one last thing. We're gonna go over all the orbs. Sometimes when you're lucky enough, you get to pick them. Sometimes when you're not, you know, you don't get to pick them up. It's what it is, you know. All right, how do I clear this shit out? Oh man. Okay, why are you clowning me, man? Oh, clear. All right, I'm gonna drag them all out, put them on D tier for now because I don't want to forget about them. Because I don't know why they're placed in like 2 different areas, right? Yeah, they're like put over here as well. I'm like, huh? Yeah, there's only what, 6? Okay, cool. Yeah, there's only 6. All right, we'll start with the first one. We'll start with an elegant code. Let me see. Oh, motherfucker, does it not tell me? Oh, it doesn't tell me what the buff ones are. What is wrong with you? Why would you tell me this shit? Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, well, now I have to fucking Google search this thing. God, that's so stupid. What the fuck? Okay, cool. Oh, actually, we're gonna use a Star Station. All right. After the character uses a skill, their actions will be pushed up by 25%. So this is pretty good if you're using a skill heavy team. But for propagation, you probably won't want this because propagation is all about auto attack. I mean, you could argue that your other 3 characters aside from your auto attack DPS won't be able to benefit from this, but yeah, I mean, overall this is really good. I think this is really good. Skill push 25%, pretty good. I'll put it as an A tier. Next up, we have the odd code. Is this one? Yeah. Every time a character uses their ultimate, they get a heal 30% of their max HP. That stays D tier actually. Bro, just use a better healer. Fuck, man, it's not that hard. You know. All right. Next up, we have to corrupt the code. When they break an enemy weakness, they get 40 energy. If you can get the weakness break on the boss that you want to do, it's like probably like B tier, but if you can't, it's like fucking D tier as well. Probably C tier, I give it. And then you have the normal code. When a character receives 25% less damage while their HP's percentage below 50 of their max HP. If you're not running destruction, this is garbage. This is like garbage if you're not running destruction or blade. This is garbage. This is just bad. Next up, we have the what? Indefinitely. You get an extra skill point when your character's auto attack. Guess what? To the moon. And then you have the last one, which is what? Mysterious code. All allies deal 25% more damage after an enemy is defeated. There you go. There you go. That's the tiers for all the tiers. All right. Okay. Yeah. You know what? Now I kind of realize that maybe doing this whole list itself is probably a lot longer than I thought it would be. So maybe I might just skip this because this is like really fucking long, and I might have to like just skip this shit itself. Let's see. Okay. Okay, let's just go over okay, let's just do the residence first because that one's easier to do, right? Okay, so first off, destruction. Let me go double check the destruction as well, so that I can make sure I'm not reading anything wrong. Oh, I didn't finish. That's fine. All right, starting with the first one, it's destruction. Does it tell me? It does not. Oh, man. Oh, it does tell me. Never mind. So yeah, every time you fight, you get a damage increase bonus, but it's like every one is like 8%. So with the destruction, you want to always hit like what? You always want to hit combat domains instead of a occurrence domain, which is still fine. Like a full combat domain run is not the worst for Storm Disaster, so it's not the end of the world. What's Exotic? So I would just say that this is really good. It's unconditional in a way, and there's no bad ones. Because it also marks 2 random buffs in the elite, which is always nice to have, because all of their buffs, well, these two just make it to where if you go into any combat domain, you get 1 extra blessing. This one makes it to where they become enhanced. This one just gives you a free fight or a free kill without even doing anything, but it doesn't activate Curios, which is fine. That's fair. The damage combat increase is good because this is unconditional and doesn't have a turn, and then you get a force to switch. Overall, destruction is actually really good, and if I remember correctly, one of my difficulty 5 runs was from destruction. So I would say that, like, yeah, destruction is pretty fucking good. I think it was like Daniel destruction. So I'm probably gonna put it up there as like S tier in my opinion, because all the buffs are really good. Fighting Spirit is always a good buff to have, and it only gets better as the fight goes on in a way. As far as I'm aware of, I think that's Remembrance, right? Oh, okay. Well, memes aside, Remembrance is the stupidest one out of all of them. So their main thing is that they apply recollection to it, and then basically what happens is that if you go on anything that has recollection on it, you get a increased effect hit rate of 25%. This is kind of nice and kind of mandatory for you to freeze and truly abuse dissociation, I believe it's called, right? So yeah. The first one is that the gold one, it copies all of your recollection and applies it to everything that's adjacent to it. As long as your recollection doesn't hit Swarm, you're good. I think Swarm with Remembrance is really bad, but yeah, 9% of the time this is always great. This is always also good because you're allowed to go to anything. You're allowed to be able to jump to anything with recollection. And then Darkness and Greed, in my opinion, is probably one of the better ones because you can copy anything and just apply fucking recollection to it. Bam. Maybe 500 raise you'll freeze one with Cocolia. Something like that, yeah. And then this one is what is it? Immediate copy to the domain whose characters the character is on, and yeah. So this one just copies whatever you are currently on and gives a recollection. It's pretty good. The last one is kind of okay though. When entering combat this round, there's 100% fixed chance for all enemies to become frozen and afflicted with ice weakness. It's all right. It's all right. But the remembrance buff is what makes it stupid. The path itself is okay, but it's still really good. S tier. Easy, brain dead clear. Trust me. All right, next up, I believe that is Nihility. So Nihility just makes it to where every domain becomes a fucking random fiesta. It could be like whatever. You can go in there and it could be garbage or it can be good. However, though, you kind of have to go into it because you know, you get more DOT damage increase, which is sad, but whatever. 9% of the time you'll be okay though. So yeah. And then your gold one does change all of your blanks into rewards, which is always great. Rewards is always great. You never really eat ass with those, so I love it. And then the other two is just really stupid. You get one Cheerio and one blessing. For the first one, all rewards becomes blanks, and then for the second one, they all become all the elites become blanks. It's always nice to have, right? Extra Cheerio, extra blessing is always good. And then the third, the Void and Dormancy turns all combat and occurrence to blank domains. Not bad. However, here's the only fucking issue. Guess what? You can't turn swarms into blinks, which I hate. But I guess it kind of makes sense because they have an interplay with propagation, but I don't like it. It's never useful for me. And then the last one is that whenever they go to a blank domain this round, they get 10 fragments. I'm gonna be honest, that value sounds way too fucking low for what it is, but whatever. But Nihility is very good. Here's the thing though. If you don't have Kafka, don't do Nihility. If you have Kafka, you can do Nihility. If you don't, I don't recommend it. It becomes really hard and difficult. I suggest you to not do it. You can try it out, of course. You know, don't listen to me. But not having a DLT character that consistently applies suspension and abuse it, you're better off just running a different path, right? So because of that, I'm actually gonna put Nihility probably at like A tier. I might have to drop it down to B tier, but I think we'll have to see how it goes. Next up, we have the dumbest path in the fucking game, Abundance. The stupidest shit ever. When you enter the first or second plane, you apply Mercy to 2 random domains, and then the countdown is reduced by 2 extra counts when entering a domain with a Mercy effect. The countdown will instead increase by 1 point, and then every countdown point increases all allies outgoing healing by 5%. You basically with Mercy, you just you can just do a little bit of that what we like to call Dora the fucking Explorer. You walk around the whole map, you do everything you can, and you will never go down on countdown as long as you go into every domain that has a Mercy. So the first one immediately applies Mercy to one adjacent domain of every domain that has Mercy already, so you're spreading it out. For every domain that has Mercy on the field, you get 1 point to the countdown and you get 5 cosmic fragments. Malevolence is stupid. Okay, prescription. After moving to a different domain in this round, immediately apply Mercy to all domains that are adjacent to the domain where the characters are located. You know, it's a lot of Mercy. God gives them Mercy. Mercy. Wow, what a funny one. You apply one domain and you give it Mercy. Fair enough. Discuss. When entering a combat this round, for every point on the countdown, all enemies receive a set amount of damage equal to 3% of the respective max HP, but no more than 60% of their max HP. It's pretty fucking stupid. But yeah. Here's some disappointment. Wait, these are all Genshin codes, right? Luigi, you want to pin that? And then Homebound. Immediately apply Mercy to one random domain on the field that doesn't have anything. These are all really good. But what's just stupid about it is just charge you and not be able to die is just stupid, okay? You literally become the fucking meme of a Metal Gear Rising where it's like nanomachines, son. So it's great. I put it as an S tier. And I'm gonna move them around. I think Destruction is the weakest out of the 3, but yeah. Why is it so long? Because it's like multiple codes. All right, next up we have I think that's Hunt. Yeah, it's Hunt. Okay, Hunt is a little bit weird. I hated it because I think it's kind of shit. In terms of how I felt like when I was playing it, but it turned out fine. I actually cleared it in one run, which was surprising to me. But yeah. So whenever you go to the first or second plane, you get a random extra blessing trotter and a Curio trotter beacon. Every time you kill a trotter, you get a 30% crit damage. Pretty nice. Yeah. And then as for your first one, Swiftness can move to a domain in the closest column that contains either a trotter, and you get the double rewards if you kill them. That's good. It's good. 9% of the time, it's always great to have, right? Resolve. Immediately generate one blessing trotter in a combat, in any combat once. Nice to have, but once again, I hate that it applies to Swarm because not all Hunt characters are, well, not all of them want to run auto attacks, right? So it's kind of stupid, but whatever. Because like my only issue with this is that sometimes I'll use this buff and it'll fucking like roll. It'll go into like a Swarm. And I'm like, well, that's a wasted roll. But yeah. Vengeance. Vengeance is actually really good if you want to skip over certain domains. It's nice to do. Restraint immediately applies Hounding Pursuit to one domain that has a trotter in it, and what it does is that they're no longer able to swap around. It's nice to have, but it's kind of useless in my opinion, because you just move to it, forehead, or just use Vengeance and jump to it. I think it's whatever. Quelled Fury, you get a 50% speed increase for 3 turns. It's okay. The blessings on its own is like okay, but it's like it's still pretty good because the crit damage and Hunt itself is nice. You know, if your enemy never takes a turn, then why the fuck does it matter, right? So I'll probably put it up on the I'll put it up on the A tier. It's better than the Hilly in my opinion, but yeah. Vengeance was hot, completed a 0 countdown mission. Yeah, exactly, yeah. All right, next up we have oh fuck, I got it mixed up. I just realized. Oh wait, never mind. Oh yeah, I got it mixed up. This is actually Preservation. I'm putting this thing back down. Whoops. I had them swapped. Oops. Okay, now we go to Preservation. Sorry. Preservation is interesting. In the sense that it applies Cornerstone to random domains, and then whenever you enter a boss domain, you get a reward based on how many domains that have Cornerstone in the phase. And for every domain that has a Cornerstone, it increases your shield by 4% for every different type of domains. And then for every different domain that has a Cornerstone, you get 1 blessing to it. Obviously, I think a lot of you guys have seen it. Preservation is kind of stupid. You just go to sleep. You just don't do anything. You just like Quake and do the job for you, right? It's very safe and it's very passive as long as you have a character that can shield. So that will apply to M7, Japard. Fire MC is kind of there, but not really. The shield value is just way too low. So yeah. Starting with the first one, Collective Shelter. After moving into a different domain this round, immediately apply Cornerstones to all domains that are about to collapse. This is kind of the dumbest shit ever. I think this is just really good. You get so many, because the fact that it applies to ones that are collapsed means that like it doesn't matter because you're never gonna go to those anyways. So this is like really good. For every domain on the map that has a Cornerstone, you get $25. It's pretty fucking good. Okay, it's just nice. And then this one is just you pick any domain and you give a Cornerstone. Also really good. After moving to a different domain in this route, immediately apply Cornerstones to one random domain that's about to collapse. Really good, because guess what? If they're going to collapse, you weren't going to go to them anyways. Proof of Commandment. At the start of the combat during this route, all allies receive a shield equal to 50% of their max HP for 3 turns. It's kind of whatever. You already have a Preservation buff that I think does the same thing, but maybe with the lower value. But whatever, we'll take it. It's really good. It's really good, and it's really safe to play because once again, the moment you have M7, you can probably play this already. I probably put it up here. It's still going to be better than Destruction, but I don't think it would beat Abundance. It's probably these two are kind of interchangeable, but it's not beating Remembrance anytime soon. Okay. All right. Last up, we have my beloved fucking Elation, the shittiest fucking buff out of everything in the world. It apply everything. Its gimmick is happiness, and what it does is that it makes it do some random bullshit, and then every time you go through it, you get a random stat increase. Listen, lore-wise, it makes sense. It's funny, but it's dog shit. You can get the shittiest buff in the world. We'll go for it anyways. Spirit of Chaos. Select any domain, gives it a random happiness. Sure. Okay. All right. That's fine. RNG on RNG or RNG, but you gotta pick who gets fucked. Head Harbinger of the Havoc. When entering combat domain this round, after a character uses an attack to deal damage to enemy targets, this attack will be considered a follow-up attack for 2 turns. Okay, that's fine, but kind of fucking useless anyways, because if you're not playing follow-up, the fuck are you doing? But whatever. Mid. And then all of these, you just pick any combat elite or occurrence and you give it happiness. Measure Mockery, Mischief Master, always amazed, never dismayed. Elation is so shit. I don't think anybody can beat Elation by using Elation buffs only. So yeah, that's to tell you how bad this fucking class is, or path is. Aftertaste is garbage. Okay, so I'm gonna do me a favor, do me a solid, and put it in D tier. Lastly, we have Propagation. Personally, I don't like Propagation, but or I don't like it because I say it the same. I treat Propagation the same thing as Hunt, where it's extremely damaged, but it's super glass cannon, just like Hunt. Well, what's new, right? But yeah. No, that's the way power cheat. Luigi, can you show me a screenshot of difficulty 5 with change for elation buff only? Can you show me that and then we'll talk? What are those codes? No primo gems? I don't think so. Yeah, they should give you like random stuff like money and wits and stuff like that, I think. But yeah, all right, let's go over propagation buffs. So whenever you join a plane, you apply a random swarm. It could be occurrence, it could be occurrence and or combat. When you enter the respective ones, you would get the effect of propagation, and what it does is that increases your combat, your basic attack damage by 20%. That's it. Getting all elation's hard though. No, not getting all elation. Just like have like more elation than anything else. Like your elation ratio needs to be like 16 to like 5. If that makes sense, Luigi. Like you can't clear the run with like by using remembrance, dissociation, and shit like that is what I'm saying. Like you have to use aftertaste to kill the enemy as your main source of damage. Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, that's what I'm saying. Either way, propagation in organic embers. You basically just go to the boss of the map and then you get a buff for every swarm that has not been cleared before. It's okay. It saves you runs because you don't need to walk around, but yeah. There's like 30 minutes rest and 70 hunt rest. That's 70 elation hunt rest, I think. Do you still have your screenshot or no? I don't think you do, no? Whatever, I can't find it. Well, I can't search it right now, but I'll search it later. The associated ID, it makes all adjacent ones into a random chance of another swarm. This is actually really good, but yeah. No, do I take screenshot of my runs? All the difficulty 5 ones, yeah. That's because I only do it once. It's a memorial. This is okay. I think this is okay. You get a random beacon in a combat swarm domain. This is actually really good. I like this one. This one's good. Cage Madness of Corrosion, yeah, whatever it's called. But yeah, Spinal Cord Overgrown. When entering combat this round, the characters will recover the same amount of skill points they consume for 3 turns. This is really fucking funny because that means Daniel doesn't use any skill points for 3 turns. It's nice, but whatever. If I don't have it, I don't have it. And then the last one is the Devil, Pain, and Love. You get a random swarm domain. It's okay. It's not bad. I mean, overall, like, I think Swarm is pretty good, but like, once again, it's not a brain dead path, so I'm gonna put it in the same tier as Hunt, but I'm gonna put it lower because my Hunt was 1 try and I'm done. Propagation took me a few times to get it done, so that's there. But there you go. Here is my path tier list of what the fuck you should play for Swarm Disaster. Have fun with that, okay? Do yourself a favor and fucking go get him, boss. And I think that is all the main stuff that we have gotten out of the way. Okay, this is pretty good. All right, welcome to my star out tier list. If it's swarm though, change it has to be number 1. Okay, we'll make a separate one. We'll make a general tier list, and then we'll make a swarm disaster one. All right, we're gonna start with the swarm disaster one first. Then how about that? So I can get that out of the way. So we can do all swarm disaster stuff, and then we'll go to regular, and then we'll go from there. All right, swarm disaster. Well, let's get the DPS out of the way. What are the first films with any character shows time? Yeah. All right, let's get the shit out of the way. We're gonna get the shit out of the way. Ready? Swarm disaster. I'm gonna be ranking the characters based on how well they are in their paths and how many paths they're good at. So let's get the brain dead ones out of the way. let's just get the brain dead ones out of the way. Where the fuck is mom? Alright. His idea was it for the blessing tier list? My idea was my idea. So let's get started. The 3 healers in the game. Bro, if you ain't running a healer, you are some fucking weird champ, bro. Is she really S though? Dude, is a healer better than no healer, dude. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Fuck up Ailu. So okay, all the healers are great to have, and I want to say they're a mandatory unit in every run. You could be that one fucking actually at Clara running heal. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Your mother must love you. Congratulations. Now can everybody do that? No, now get the fuck out of here. So yeah, so the first thing I'm putting up, it's only the healers first. Your part isn't here yet. I'm gonna go for that. I'll go to that soon. But yeah. So this is what it is. It's just this though. Okay. Obviously, I'm gonna switch them around. Guess what? There we go. We're done. Tier list is over, boys. We switched it around. We're done. You could argue Bailu and Lynx are kind of in the same category because they're both good for whatever the fuck. But I think Lynx is a little bit better. But yeah. So first off, we had to heal this out of the way. They're all fucking amazing. Okay. Next up. They're all amazing. Must have, must run. Okay. I forgot to record this part. All right, whatever, dude. Oh yeah, whatever. Maybe record this. Natasha bottom tier after Lynx comes out. Well, no. Here's the thing, though. A healer's better than no healer. Okay, a healer's better than no healer. Okay, that's the issue. Okay, well, either way, we're doing this tier list. Because I fucking need to cut this part out. All right. Well, I'm putting healers up in the top. Right. TLDR. A healer is always necessary in a run, in my opinion. You can run without it, but why make it hard for yourself? Make it easier for yourself, right? In terms of healers, I probably rank them like this in their own orders, okay? And the only reason Natasha's even up here is due to the fact that she's free, whereas all the other ones are not free, right? All right, next up, we have the other 2 really stupid fucking characters, the Cunny Fushan and Daddy Japard. I'd probably do something like this. Japard has been a miracle for almost half of the runs I've been doing. I don't know how the fuck this man does it, but insane shield, the baddest shit ever. Man is God himself. He will die once, he'll come back up and call you a little bitch and beat your ass up again. I think he's a must-have. He is just that guy. Exactly, he's just that guy. Fushan, on the other hand, I think is very good, but here's the issue. Your Fushan will die at certain points because she takes too much damage from your allies, right? Because your other allies doesn't have enough bulk to take less damage. So that's the reason why I think Fushan's a little bit lower than Locha, but for that for realistically only that reason. If you run both, it's pretty good as well, but you can still get what your Fushan will still die because your other 3 characters are taking too much damage, but yeah. So I will rank this up on S. Yeah. That's why I run solo Fushan abundance. Okay, once again, you're giving up a lot of niche dog shit situations, and I always say this. It's always Garbanzo. Alright. Next up, we're going in chronological order. Asta C. I don't know what the fuck she's doing there, dude. I don't know what the fuck she's doing there. Attack buff, speed buff, sure. There's better supports out there. I don't recommend it. Hartha, are you fucking crazy or what? I don't recommend it. Nobody has cleared it. Okay, actually, let me do this. Heart on elation? Yikes. Heart on remembrance? Hey, yo. that is how I would see your ass. So, you know what? We're gonna be generous and put her on C. Can let's just say if you get one shot, though? No, but neither does Fushan. Because she just dies. Not the one we're gonna force it. Yeah, but once again, if you're forcing it already, that means the character in itself has a lot of flaws already, right? That's why I don't claim it. I don't recommend it. That's why. All right, next up we have Ronya. I'm probably gonna put her on A tier. I think she's pretty good. I don't think she's an S tier though, but you can run away. You can, cause like you can get away with not running her and shit, but she's still pretty good to have. But yeah. Sealy. I don't know. Pretty good for Hunt. Sounds poggers to me, dude. Several. I don't know what the fuck she's doing here, dude. I don't know what she does. I don't ever see her doing anything useful in her life. Mid. Payla. B. I don't fucking know. B. Clara. Oh, A. Can run destruction. Can run elation. I think she can run abundance as well. Pretty good. I probably do like this. No. Okay. Hold on. Once again. I swear to God, some of you guys are not listening. Hartha on elation, D. Hartha on remembrance, A. If we average it out, she's a C tier. Okay? I want to say this shit once. If you ask about some other dumb shit again and be like, oh, why is she this tier? You didn't hear the explanation. Or you're just fucking being stupid. Okay? Yeah. You get a connection to my healer then? Okay, I will. SU any path? I will. We'll do it afterwards. But yeah. Shampoo, he's okay. He's only good for like naility. I don't recommend it. Okay, we're gonna assume this is physical trailblazer. I'm so fucking running him for, dude. Why not run Fire MC instead? Hook. I'm sorry, Hook is just bad. Jinyan. I'm sorry, dude. My man has like gone off. Dude, I don't know what the fuck you were running for, dude. It's so bad, dude. Yan Chang. I don't think he's good for Hun. I think he's okay for remembrance, so I'm gonna put him on high B. Ting Yin. I'll probably put her up here actually. Cheng Tre. Right there, just right here. Okay, here's the thing though. E6 Cheng Tre right here. Not E6. Yeah, yo, get your ass down. Get your ass down. I'll probably put her up here though. But for 4 stars, I'm assuming you're E6, so I'll put it up here. Sus. Only really good for like Hunt. So yeah. With what path? Okay. She works on almost every path technically. She works with propagation due to the fact that her enhanced attacks or auto attacks. She works in Hunt because she could just turbo. She works in preservation because anybody works in preservation. She works in elation because of her E4. She works in abundance because abundance works on anybody. She works on remembrance because remembrance works on anybody. That's all the paths we have. She works on every path technically, or some part of her kit. She can work with that path, which is stupid. But yeah. Fire MC. Low value. I think the issue is just the shield is way too low value. Even on like preservation, I don't recommend it. You calling is kind of hard in my opinion because you're gonna have a skill point issue, and if you don't have that one orb that gives you skill points, she's not that great. So she kind of falls into like the situational homies. Yeah. M7, I'll probably put her at like low A tier due to the fact that she realistically works really well in preservation and remembrance, which is what she specializes in. Dan Hung, he can fucking hung himself. Himiko. Welt, he kind of fucking over here, honestly. Kind of over here, probably a little bit on the upper end. Okay, I don't recommend it. Kafka. No, somebody just closed the door really hard. Kind of a low A tier. Works really well only in Nihility, so it's kind of situational. Silver Wolf, I put her on the high tier. Debuffs are amazing. Arlan. So if you play Arlan, I just recommend you to play the next character that I'm going to be talking about, Blade. Probably on the upper edge echelons of the A tier, I want to say. He has a lot more paths that he could run compared to Sealy, and maybe a little bit about the same as Clara. I will probably give him a little bit more bonus. Luca Tim, same thing, just only good in Nihility. Daniel, I hate Daniel, so I'm putting up here. I think that guy never let me up. All right, I'm not gonna go over these three because they're all not out yet. All right, well, let's clean this shit up and we're gonna make this thing better, okay? All right, so first off, my top tier list, I don't think I'm switching anything around. I think I'm gonna, okay, how about I do this? I'll probably do something like that. Yeah, this probably works. Yeah, something like this. Because once again, okay, and we'll go over here again. Gepard, good for almost any path except for Hunt. I don't know why the fuck you're running him in Hunt. What are those reactions to buff? I don't fucking know, dude. Gepard is good for any run or any path. Locha, same thing. Fushan, kind of the same thing as well. So they're all really good for almost every path. Actually no, sorry. The following six characters are really good for any path. We'll like slide in like Chintra in there as well. Tingyun, on the other hand, is good for like almost every path, but she's more or less depending on who your DPS is. If your DPS is like Blade, for example, she's dog shit, right? Or if your DPS is like if your DPS is like a defense scaling character, like if you're running Quake damage, then it's not that great, right? But she's still really good because of that. But this is what I probably put the S tier is for Swarm Disaster. A tier, honest to God, I think something like this might work. Actually, no, fuck that. Yeah, you know what? I think this will work. Silverwolf has the weakness applying. I think that's really good. If you don't need it, I think she drops down to like a B tier, but you know, you can use her 9% of the time. Brona is always great 9% of the time, unless you're running it like Clara, then you know, what the fuck are you doing? Or Kafka, but yeah. Why are you above Brona and Silverwolf though? Because oh, she's not skill point positive. Bronya not Bronya skill point positive. I don't like. That's the reason why. That's the reason why Brony's not and that's pretty much it. And the fact that like Tingyun's ult regen is just really good. The damage increase is like really whatever in my opinion, because at the end of the day, your damage increase is never beating out a fucking buff from similar to universe itself, right? So I don't think it's whatever. And once again for Silverwolf, it's like okay-ish. It's still great, but like it's kind of dependent on base comp. Like maybe like worst case scenario, I'll probably put them like around in the same category in a way. But sometimes you don't need to run Silverwolf over Tingyun or whatever. And I think Blade is just really good. I have, for what he does, oh sorry, let me rephrase another thing. Both of these characters could be run in almost any path, with the exception of probably Preservation. I don't recommend running Preservation on Silverwolf. Blade only really good in what? Destruction? Arguably Destruction, not even good in Destruction actually. Kind of mid in Propagation, and only realistically shines in Abundance. So I might have to drop him and be a fit. Get your ass down here. Would I drop you? Actually, no, that's not true. I ran you in Elation Remembrance comp, so he could be ran in Remembrance as well technically, because he has because of the fact that Blade has natural bulk due to his kit. Like he's just like a walking stick. He just beats your ass up. Sealy, I think I'd probably put her a little bit lower. She's only really good for Hunt. She's probably in the same tier as Kafka, where they're only good for like one path, which is Nihility for Kafka and Quantum for Sealy. Clara has a lot more paths than the other two and the other options here, so I will probably put her a little bit higher. M7, good for Preservation, good for Remembrance. That's why she's fucking here. Daniel, I put him really low on the tier list because I think Daniel's dog shit. I think people who fucking hype his damage up are fucking dumb and are a joke, because because my issue with running him most of the time, what Propagation was actually a team that had a lot of issue running, whereas Nihility and Hunt was one and done basically, or 3 times. I think I had to run like a total of 6 times on Propagation to get it done. And that's the reason why I don't think it's that great. Like, yes, he has very good damage output, but the fact that this fucker is so skill point heavy that you're firstly forced to force him with Tingyun is it's like very whatever. Very limited comp is what I'm also not liking about Daniel the entire time. And that's why I think he's right here for now. Like, he'll probably get better once we get more characters with different kits. But yeah, because once again, his damage output is really good. But I have seen him have some runs where I'll be running him and I'll be like, where the fuck did your damage go? But that's why I think he's lower on this tier list, man. All right, next up, the B tier list. Doesn't propagation fix it though? It kind of does, but propagation is like, how do I say this? Not exactly. Propagation doesn't fix the survivability issue. The issue with propagation is that, if he gets hit, he's dead. The fucker is dead if he gets hit. So like, what I realized is that I have to run him with like Tinyan, healer, him, and Japard, and like so that he doesn't get killed. And even then, he'll still be really close to getting killed. And I'm like, this is stupid. Whereas the other paths, I could be like, I'm chilling with the other paths, right? Because Nihility has suspension, attack decrease. Hunt, if God never makes him take a turn, then what's the point, right? But with propagation, they don't have that ability to like spam as much, where the only time you're able to cut is from the resonance itself. And because of that, after you do the resonance, if you can't break them or do whatever, then fuck it, dude. Defense low, how is he in danger of being killed but not Tinyan? No, I'm saying like, oh no, because, well, you're asking why is Tinyan still so high though? Because Tinyan has better usability. Daniel is only good in propagation and destruction at best. Tinyan can be used in almost every path. That's the difference, right? I'm rating it on how good they are in their respective paths and how many paths that they can run. That's the reason why a lot of the characters are on the top here are good in every path. You're not gonna be fucking running Nihility fucking Dan Hung. Where does your suspension debuffs come from, right? Tinyan could be running those because you could run Kafka, right? That's the reason why supports are always rated higher in every tier list, because supports have more usability. I mean, not above Tinyan, I mean Sealy and Kafka. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? Why is he lower than the two? I just explained it. Kafka, Nihility has a suspension debuff that basically says for every suspension Nihility has a buff that says for every suspension stack that they have, it reduces their attack. Propagation doesn't have that at all. Propagation has nothing. Propagation has, oh, if I auto attack, I have a damage reduction and I have a defense buff. Bro, wow, that's crazy. It's only for one turn, by the way. What the fuck, dude? Sealy can cut multiple times. Dan Hung doesn't cut. The only time Daniel can cut is from propagation resonance itself, which is 2 stacks at best. Sealy, on the other hand, can cut as long as she kills, and Hunt can regen really fast. Daniel can kill me in half. Sorry, we're talking about Sealy here, Leo. That's a woman. So that's the reason why I think Daniel's also weaker. And once again, from personal experience, I only did one run with Hunt, and I cleared it in one run. Propagation Dan Hung took me 5 tries minimum. The fact that if it's unlucky or whatever, that shows you a lot already, right? How the fuck is it that I can clear Sealy with one run, right? I don't know, man. Oh, you're saying cook, not cut? No, I said cut. First of all, you went over Daniel first. Yeah, but I said cut as in like Sealy can cut. But yeah, you're right. But yeah, so that's the reason why I think Daniel's just low on the tier list. And like I said, I have never seen myself even in Memory of Chaos. I would never see I haven't seen myself in Memory of Chaos where I'd be like, wow, I wish I used Daniel instead. I have never seen myself doing that yet. So I think Daniel's just the fucking, his kid is just not my style, and that's a personal preference maybe at the end of the day, man. So like cuts, like cutting in line, that cut. You fucking cuts in line, dude. Oh, there's a cut in the line. But yeah. All right. Then we got minigame ultimate power. Okay, but that doesn't yeah, but guess what? Does that mean I'm pushing Asta to B tier because Asta can do the same thing as well, and she's free, or what? So does Kafka. Not for the barrel ones, Sonic. Not for the barrel ones. Not for the smart. But the barrel ones, Daniel is better. Kafka is all melee. For barrel ones, it's always Asta. If you don't have Daniel, you use Asta. But yeah, no, Luigi, that's stupid. At that point, I might as well put Asta to B tier then. Like, That doesn't make sense. That's not a equation. That's not a relevant factor. All right. Well, either way, with that, I hope I answered your questions for A tier and S tier. We'll go to B tier now. Man, what the fuck am I looking at in B tier? B tier is a fucking mess on its own. Okay, well, let's do probably this. Probably put your ass in the bag. Okay, I think it's good enough. Okay, so let's get started. Payla, generic support, skill point farmer, B tier. Because outside of defense now, she doesn't do much shit anyways. I think she's whatever. And the fact that her technique is so bad, it doesn't help with her case. So yeah, I put her in a B tier because of that. I think it's just you have better options for support, but she's still a good support regardless. Yukong, if you can manage her skill point, she is really good, but like, yeah, you don't. The joke is that you don't. But you know, in her optimal setting, in her good settings, decent settings, she's pretty good. And once again, a general support for any attack scaling character. Welt, on the other hand, is a generic slow support. So once again, kind of falls in the same category where he can be kind of run in every comp as a off DPS as well. So something never bad to have, right? Yanqing, decent in hunt, busted in remembrance, but yeah. Remember, I watched the Daniel Swarm video. He's a fraud. What do you mean? But yeah, Yanqing is just okay. He, like for hunt, he's okay, but you can probably run it. You can still clear it with like 4-star options. And but for remembrance, he's really good because he can freeze the follow up. Shapo and Luca both fall in the same category. They're just really good for their respective paths, which is nihility. That's really it. Personally, I like Shampoo more though, but then again, mine is my Shampoo is E6 while my Luke is E1, so maybe there's a bias towards the Edelons and their respective buffs that they give to the characters. I'll come back to whoever's better, but right now I think Shampoo's a little bit better due to the fact that you probably have more copies, because he's been out for longer. Sus and Daniel, both are only going to be good for hunt characters because they are kind of dog shit on their own, but they're also really mid and you probably have better options. Or once again, stop being stupid and just run Chingchua instead. She's free, not free, kind of mid. Fire Trailblazer, M7 is just better, okay? You want to run Preservation, just run M7. What, you know, she's only really good for like Preservation, and M7 does his job but better. Jin and Himiko, absolute dog shit. I think if you want to clear with both of them, you're probably going to be running a destruction path. Elation with both of them are god awful, so you're not going to be able to do shit with them. Next up, yeah, that's pretty much it. We have C tier. I'm gonna be honest, I probably did Asta a little bit dirty here by putting her at C tier. But like, you know what, I'll probably put her up to B tier. I'll probably put Asta up to B tier, I want to say. You know, like Luigi did mention, she is really good for the mini game, because if you don't have Bronia or Daniel, she's good for the barrel breaking mini game, and she's good for the Trotter mini game as well. So that kind of gives a little bit of an advantage. And the fact that she gives the speed buff and attack buff per stack is nice to have. Overall okay, but you know, at their prime, I want to say I think these two will be a little bit better. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know why the fuck Hearth is here. Put your ass back down. Hook and Several. They don't have a specific path they belong to. You can argue that they both belong in fucking Destruction, but that's like whatever, dude. There's way better options for you to run Destruction on, and arguably any character can run Destruction. So because of they're on the lower end of the tier list, man. What am I saying? It's a Persona. It's a Persona. Because about the mini game though, me, because I want everything. But yeah, so hopefully, sadly say, yeah, they don't have a special kit that belongs to any path, so that's why they're like that low. Lastly, we have kind of like the joke lineup. I would do this, honest to God. Oh, sorry. I'm putting Hartha up here due to the fact that Hartha in Remembrance puts her up as an A tier, but if she is not in Remembrance, she's honest to God a D tier, so I'll give her an average of a C tier. That's really it. Physical Trailblazer, better characters to run, doesn't have a specific path, kind of the same issues as the other two, but yeah. It's simple. We're just going over a tier list right now for Swarm Disaster. Arlan played but shittier and shittier. Don't run him. But yeah, all right. With that being said, that is the Swarm Disaster tier list completed. Feel free to disagree with me on all you want, but once again, these are all my personal experiences, and 9% of the time I think I'm correct, because all my characters are fucking plus 12. So I'm already giving myself enough of a handicap to tell you that whatever's easier to clear, right? My thing is all about what's easier to clear, right? Which one is brain dead, which one's not brain dead, right? Yes. All right, there you go. There is your fucking tier list. With that being said, we're gonna go to the next one, MOC tier list. It's the same tier list, okay? So this time we're gonna go in chronological order, okay? Let's get started with Asta. Low A, high B. I think she's okay the way she is. There's better supports than her, but but if she is against a far weak enemy and you do have I believe E4 and above, she's an A tier, but until then she's a B tier. Yeah. So we've got Rob's Vest. Yeah, well, like I said, she doesn't, like, she's good, but like you can run, there's better options for you to run in a way. Sure, to a certain extent. Like, she's okay, she's like borderline, I would say. Okay, that's what I would probably say. Yeah. All right, anyway, moving on. Heartha. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Have fun, buddy. Have fun. Bronia. Wee. Sealy. Wee. Nah, A. Several probably on the D tier list. Better options. Japard. S. Natasha on the B tier list. I'm sorry. Payla. I kind of want to put her on the high B, low A, but I'll probably put her right here. Clara. I think low A. Probably a little bit better than Sealy. Yeah. Shampoo. High B due to specificality. What if I got a lot of OP blessing stacks with breaking down? You can't, because there's not a lot of OP blessings with break effect, Luigi. There's only 2. There's only 1 that increases break effect, so no. And that's you're assuming that you're doing break effect Silver Wolf, which is not a generic build and niche build again. Right. But yeah, Shampoo kind of okay, good in its niche, which is DOT teams, but outside of that, he's kind of mid. Not break effect damage. Then what do you mean then? Either way, Fire Physical MC, just run Fire MC. At least have some better usage. Hook, kind of same issue. Locha, put that bitch up top. Jin Yan, oh I'm sorry, he low B now. Remembrance break effect, dissociate, etc. Okay, well, once again, that's the resonance being good. That's the resonance being good, Luigi. That has nothing to do with the character being good, right? And if you're doing that to force Ice Week, then I could see her being better, but that just, once again, that's one specific niche path. That's not an overall kind of like a contributing factor. Yes, you can run her so that you can always consistently apply ice with your 2 other remembrance members or ice units, but still, we don't have an ice healer, so what the fuck are you gonna do with that, you know? So I have an E6 Several and Sag. It's okay, Several is great. I just personally think that you might need to put a little bit more extra work into her to make her good, so that's why. Bam. Either way, moving on. Yancheng, probably on the high A tier. The fucker hits hard, but like, I put it on A actually. Bam. He hits hard. He hits hard, but kind of sacky at times, because if he doesn't do his follow up, he's just. Bailu, low A. But that's it. Tingyun, S tier. Qingque. I'll give her the fucking mark, dude. I'll give her the fucking mark, dude. Sus, I'll probably give her like the low B. Also, I just realized I'm putting Asta to A because I'm assuming that she's E6, because I'm assuming every 4-star here is E6. Okay. Fire MC, low B. Ting Yukong, high A or high B. Sorry. M7, mid B. Dan Hung, C. Hibiko, C. Wout, mid, high-ish mid B. Kafka, A. Silverwolf, S. Arlan, fucking. Put that motherfucker in the garbage can. Blade, personal bias aside, I think he's really good. Luca, same thing as Shampoo. IL, low A. Fushan, top A, top S. Lynx, high A actually. There you go. That's a Kind of, to a certain extent, kind of. You don't need it. Like, she doesn't make your things better. You like, she's not a must pull in a way. All right, let me just reorganize this real fast. Holy shit, dude, what a fucking mess I'm looking at. What do I do first? No, you stay. Oh, you go down. There you go. And then probably that's fine. No, I'll probably do it like this actually. There you go. What's yours is for? MOC mainly. Probably something like this, I want to say. Maybe not Clara. But the color's still good though. Oh, fuck it, whatever. It doesn't matter who's here. There you go. Okay, cool. Who's that pinker Hergo on the top left? Why is Fusha in list A? No, wait, what? No, she's S. All right, there you go. I reorganized everything. I think this is a pretty good answer. All right. In terms of good units and simplicity and good generosity and stuff like that, I've put everything on here. As you can clearly see, there is a reason why most DPS are in the fucking A tier, because you don't need them. You could use any DPS you want at the end of the day. You know what? Just for the fuck of this, I'm dropping this bitch to the E. There you go. She's in list A. Do you not see her? Or she's on the top of links? What do you mean? Wait, what? Wait, what do you mean? I'm confused now. What the fuck is Leo saying? I'm not putting her back. She's between Celia and Lane. Oh, Clara? Oh yeah, I think Clara's good. Clara's good. I think Clara's good, but she's like but obviously she's not better than the premium options, obviously. You're not Clara and Fushan? This one? Damn, bro, that sounds like a personal. That sounds a little personal. Is this a 50 lost, 50 lost and down? Man, you don't bring it up. You're not supposed to bring it up. All right. Okay, I'm gonna pause the music because I don't want miracle music to be playing in the background. But either way, when I put this out on YouTube, it won't be like this anyways. There's no audio in the background, but yeah. Oh, son of a bitch. Wait, what happened to my Pokemon music? I want the Pokemon music. Oh, fuck me out. All right, well, either way, you guys look at this list for a little bit, and then you guys can cook me or not. I will argue with you to the end, but I think this is pretty set in stone. I'm gonna be honest with you. Cause I know damn well Luigi got fighting words already, dude. I made one change and this guy's trying to fight already. All right, class. Did you take your fucking notes? All right. As I was saying, either way, the tier list, there's a special pattern here. The pattern is that most supports are on S tier is due to the fact that at the end of the day, you realistically use any DPS to clear, right? As long as you're running with the right supports and everything else, it doesn't really matter what supports you have, or it doesn't matter which DPS you use, right? I know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm not doing anything. I'm not putting her back up. She's staying down there. So where did Shingshire go? Oh, she went to the top of A tier. You went to the top of A tier. Yeah. All right, so let's go by this one by one. Locha and Fushan Japard, the trinity of the bitch I am not dying. one DPS should get the honor. There's no honor. There's no honor. Listen, if I make an exception, that means everybody gets an exception, okay? So because of that, we're not doing it like that. It's fair and square for everybody. But yeah, either way, yeah, Japar, Fushan, and Locha, the healer trinity, the Hulk Hogan trinity. You won't die. Nobody's gonna see God, so you're gonna be living fine. If you have any of these units on your team, you are basically guaranteed to live for most of stuff if you play correctly and smartly. Guaranteed to have one per team. Okay, have fun. Next up, we have like the best supports in the game. Another trinity. Ting Yun, Bronya, Silverwolf. All really good characters. I'll probably put Bronya a little bit in the back, actually. I'll probably do this. Ting Yun is a 4-star single point positive character that you can easily E6, and always great to have. Energy refund is always great. Obviously, she only has one minor issue, is that in the future, when we get defense and HP scaling characters, she becomes a little bit more weaker. But still, as long as you're in her zone, which is attack scaling characters, she is great. Silverwolf, obviously, as you know, the fucking shit, free weakness supply. Free weakness supply, a lot of debuffs, great, nice to have, right? Bronya, free push, allows you to run a really slow DPS as long as she's fast enough. Free, I wouldn't say free, but you do, and then you get a free ult up, or not ult damage, crit damage increase. Really good to have, really good to have. I would say that these are really good supports. Next up, we have the holy fucking mackerel, the 4 fucking dumb DPS in the game. Chingshre, Kafka, Blade, Daniel. If you have at least one of these on your team, your DPS is good enough. You just need to worry about your other team's DPS. Chingshre is, and once again, the reason why Chingshre is higher on this list is due to the fact that she is a 4-star, which means that easier for you to get copies of, and you can, you know, farm her faster and stuff like that. And also less investment, okay? With the offset of less stats, but not important because she still does enough damage due to her stupid kit. What am I implying? I think Chingshre is better than the other 3 due to accessibility and easiness and stuff like that, and the amount of resource investment you need to put into her, right? Because at the end of the day, the amount of gear resources you need to put on every